my dear student, welcome to Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School channel. Myself Hina Patel, going to teach you 5th standard mathematics. Yes, already we had started with a fraction chapter. Already we had learned in the previous class what are the like fractions, unlike fractions, what are equivalent fractions. Now we will see the comparison of fractions, how to compare the fractions. So we will see one by one with example what is the comparing a fraction. So we will see here comparing the fractions, comparisons of a fractions with a unequal numerator and denominator. When the numerator and the denominators are unequal, then how to compare the fractions? Yes, after that we have to take the next step is by taking the LCM of the denominator. First what we have to do? First we have to take an LCM to make the denominator equal. Then after making the denominator equal by taking the LCM, making the fractions like means the denominator should be same or it should be equal. Then when you have a denominator equal, then we have to compare the numerator. So comparing the fractions in this way, when you compare with a numerator, so you can find out which fractions is a greater or which fraction is smaller. So again I will repeat the step how to do the fraction comparing of a fractions. Comparisons of fractions with a unequal numerator and denominator. When denominators are unequal, numerators are unequal means the numerator and the denominators have a different number or they are not same. So to make the denominator same, first what we have to do? Take the LCMs of a denominator. After taking the LCMs, make the fractions like. When the denominators are equal, then the fraction will be like fractions. After that we have to see the numerator and we have to compare the fractions by seeing the numerator because already denominators are equal. So in this way we have to compare the fractions, or we can say that comparing the fractions. Next we will see with example comparing the fractions. What are the examples here? One by one we will see. Here 11 upon 20 means 11 is in the numerator, 20 is in denominator. Here 14 upon 20, 14 is in the numerator and 20 is in denominator. What? Already here the both the fractions are like fractions. How? Because both the denominators have the same number. So they are known as like fractions, or we can say both the denominators are equal. So we can compare with the help of a numerator, which is the greater the number in the numerator, that fractions will be greater. Now you can see 11 and 14, which is a greater? 14 is greater. So we can say that 14 upon 20 is greater fraction, because here we are having the like fractions. Now another example we will see 6 upon 13 and 12 upon 13. Here again both the denominators are same, or we can say it's a like fraction. So by comparing the numerator 6 and 12, you can find out which is the greater fraction, because 12 upon 13 is greater than that of a 6 upon 13. Because it is very easy when both the denominators are equal or are same. One more example we will see here, 8 upon 3 and 8 upon 5. Here in the previous class already we had learned that when the numerators are equal or numerators are having the same number, when the numerators are same, here we are having as 8 and 8, then the denominator which is a lower number is greater than that of another. So here in the denominator we have to compare which is a lower number here, lowest number here. So, 3 is lowest than that of a 5. So, we can say by comparing the numerator, we can say 8 upon 3 is greater, because already in the previous class in the detail I had told how to compare the fractions when the numerators are equal and when the denominators are equal. So, these are the example. You can write your own example and you can try it what is a comparison of a fractions or with a other example too. Now, we will compare here 6 upon 12 and 2 upon 12. Now, you know what is this? Both the fractions having the same denominator. First, I will try to explain, then we will write the answer. Here we are having both the fractions having the same denominator. Here in the second example, here both the denominators are having the same denominators with same number. So, they are like fractions, these are also like fractions, but here 1 upon 3 and 1 upon 2, these are not like fractions, they are unlike, because we are in the denominator 3 and 2 both are different, but numerators are same. So, what we have to use? Already I had told in the previous sum, one by one we will try to solve here. So, 6 upon 12 and what we are doing is we are comparing the fractions. Here both the denominators are same. So, you can find out with the help of seeing the numerator, by seeing the numerator which number is greater, that fraction will be greater. So, 6 upon 12 and 2 upon 12, which will be greater? 6 is greater than 2, so this fraction is greater. Now, we will see one more example. Here 3 upon 13 and 9 upon 13. Here again the denominators are same. So, what we have to see? We have to see the numerator, which numerator is greater, or we can say which numerator is having the lowest number. So, we can put a sign of a comparison, greater, smaller or equal. Here 9 upon 13 is greater than that of a 3 upon 13, because in the numerator we have a 9, here we are having a lowest number, that is a 3. One more example we will see is 1 upon 3 and 1 upon 2. Now, you might be thinking that both the denominators are different, here both the denominators were the same. So, what to do? Here that both the denominators are different, but we have the same numerator. We are having the same numerator, where the denominator is greater, that fractions will be a smaller, So, what we will write here? 1 upon 2 and 1 upon 3. The greater the number, here we will see the smaller, which is a smaller here denominator, that will be the greater one. So, in this way we are doing the comparisons of fractions, and you can write your own examples and you can find out. Now, we will see arranging the fractions, how to arrange the fractions. By converting the fractions into like fractions, one by one steps, we will see how to arrange the fractions. First, we have to convert the fractions into like fraction, means what? The denominator should be same, denominator should be having the same number, or the denominator should be equal. Then what we have to do? Then we have to compare. You know now compare, how to compare, which is greater or which is smaller. Next, arrange in ascending order or descending order. What is ascending order, you know? Yes, smaller the fraction will be the first we have to write, then we have to write somewhat greater than that, then we have to go for greater than, that is smaller to bigger fractions, that is known as ascending, and the reverse, that is known as descending. First we will write the large fractions, then we have to make it to write till the lowest fractions. So, arrange in ascending and descending order. Then replace with a corresponding fractions. Then we have to replace means what? What you are writing ascending and descending order, that should be replaced by the whatever the corresponding fractions is given in the questions. That questions you have to whatever the given is the fraction in the question, that you have to rewrite again and you have to arrange, and we have to you have to write the fractions in the questions which is given, and you have to write in the form of greater than, smaller than, and you have to arrange in ascending or descending order. In this way, arranging the fractions, the steps are: convert first fractions into like fractions. Again I will say what are the like fractions. When the denominators are same, are known as like fraction. Then we have to do the compare. Now only we had seen that compare is nothing but greater than, smaller than, or equal. That we have to see the fractions by comparing the denominator or numerator. Then arrange in the ascending or descending order. Yes, we have to arrange the fractions by seeing the numerator or denominator. We have to arrange the fractions, and after that arranging the fractions, we have to replace with a corresponding fractions, means which is given in our question. This is how we write, we do the step by step the arrangement of a fraction. Now what we had learned here till now is just we will recall, we can say it's summary, we will how just, and then we will go to the next topic of the fractions, that is what are fractions first. The numbers that represents a part of a whole is fraction. Already we had discussed in our previous class when we were having a discussions of a fractions with many example. Here the number that represents a part of a whole, that is known as an fractions. What are the like fractions? Fractions having a same denominator. Again, because every time I won't repeat that the number having the fractions having the same denominator are known as like fraction. Just I will say like fractions means you have to remember that when the fractions are said to be like, when the denominators are same, when the denominators are same. So the fractions having the same denominators are known as an like fractions. What are unlike fractions? The fractions having a unequal denominator, means the denominators are not same, or we can say they are different. The words having the same meaning, it is unequal, same. Here in the like fraction, here you can say not same or different. Here we are using the word as an unlike denominator or unequal denominator. So these are known as an unlike fractions. What are equivalent fractions? We had seen many examples related to equivalent fractions, of fractions that can be reduced to the same lowest term. Already I had told how to find an equivalent fractions by two methods. One is by multiplication and one was by division. How you find the number? Just we have to use the divisibility rule for the division and multiply and find out the given fractions are equal, or we can say it is an equivalent fractions. Equivalent word itself says that the fractions what we find after the converting is an equivalent or are the equal. The fractions that can be reduced to the same lowest term is called as an equivalent fractions. So in short, we had recalled what we had learned till now. Then we will go to the next, what is in the next step of an additions and subtractions of a fractions. What is addition? You know now, you know the additions of a simple number, you know the additions with a large number. Now we will learn the additions of an fractions, and subtractions of a fractions means here also we will, you know that subtract the smaller number you had learned in the previous class. In this year you had learned the subtractions of a large number, but here in this chapter we are going to learn subtractions of fractions. Already we had learned some rules in the previous, how to make the denominator equal or how to make the like fractions. That all things what we learn we have to apply here in the additions and subtractions of a fraction. One by one we will see to add or subtract. To add or subtract unlike fractions, we first need to convert them into like fractions. Already what? Addition or subtraction? It may be addition sign or it may be subtraction sign. First, unlike fractions should be made like fractions. How? First, we need to convert them into like fractions by taking the LCM. Already we had discussed. To add or subtract mixed fractions, we first convert them into improper fractions. First, to add or subtract, you know mixed fractions. Yes, 3 whole 1 upon 2 is a mixed fraction. First, mixed fractions should be converted into the improper fraction, and then we have to follow the steps. Next, if the resultant fraction is not in a lowest term, means after solving the steps what you are getting as a result, that fractions, if it is not in the lowest term, we reduce it to its lowest term. So, if it is possible to reduce in the last step after finding the resultant, or we can say result of a fraction by solving the addition or the subtractions of a fractions, if it is possible to reduce it to lowest term, we have to reduce and we have to find lowest term of a fraction. Next step, if the resultant fraction is an improper fraction, you know what are improper? Again I will recall you what are improper fraction. In improper fraction, the numerator will be always larger number than that of an denominator. We can say in the numerator the number will be larger as compared to denominator, that is known as improper fraction. Change the improper fractions into mixed fraction. Now, how to convert improper fractions to mixed fractions? We will see the sums, so you will understand how to do the convergence of an improper fraction to mixed fraction. So, I told this what are the rules we have to follow while doing the additions and subtractions of a fractions, or you can say the steps what we have to follow to do this both the operation, that is nothing but addition and subtractions of a fraction. Here we are having some example, I will show with a figure, so it will be more easy for you to understand the additions of an unlike fraction. The word is unlike, means both the denominator are not having the same number, or we can say they are unlike fractions. Here we are having one figure over here, that is which is divided into and 4 part. Here 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 4. First step was to find out LCM to make the fractions or to make the denominator equal or to make the fractions like. So, by finding out the LCM of a 2 and 4 with the LCM is 4. Then make the denominator equal, or we can say make the denominator like same. So, what we have to do? First we will take this fraction as a 1 upon 2 multiplied by 2 upon 2 is equal to 2 upon 4. How it is? I will explain. Because you have got an LCM is 4. So, we have to make the denominator as 4. To make the denominator as 4, I had taken this first fraction as 1 upon 2. So, to make the denominator 4, we have to multiply it by 2. You know, when you multiply in the denominator, same number you have to multiply in the numerator. So, here 2 2s are, or 2 times 2 is 4, here 2 times 1 is 2. So, same number we are multiplying. So, fractions what we got here is 2 upon 4. Now, 1 upon 4, to make the denominator 4, already it is 1 upon 4. So, we have to multiply by 1, we will multiply by 1, it will remain the same. So, we had taken here directly the same procedure what we had done with this fraction, same we have to do with this fraction. But we are having the number as 1 in the numerator, so there is no change. So, resultant fraction means what we are getting a new fractions by making the denominator equal or denominator same or making a like fraction, we have to compare. We will get here a like fractions and then we have to find out if it is addition, if it is comparison, if it is subtractions we have to do. So, 2 upon 4, what is the first fractions? We got 1 upon 2 is that 2 upon 4, that is our resultant fraction, that is 2 upon 4. Operation is plus. So, I had written as a plus and 1 upon 4. Because I told there is no change, so we had writing directly here 1 upon 4. So, what will be here? 3 upon 4. What? Here both the denominators are same. So, we write a common denominator and we have to add the numerator. So, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So, what we are getting is 3 upon 4. So, we can say, so in the total 3 upon 4 portions of the chocolate was consumed. So, this is the chocolate what was given to us and we had just given by 2 fractions, and what was the chocolate piece of a chocolate was consumed is nothing but 3 upon 4 means it is half, this is half plus 1 upon 4, this is 1 upon 4. So, total how much was consumed? This 3 part was consumed, that is nothing 1 upon 4, 1 upon 4 and 1 upon 4 is total is 3 upon 4. So, by adding this half a chocolate and 1/4 a chocolate, we can say the consumption of a chocolate was 3 upon 4 or we ate a 3 upon 4 chocolate. I think so you understand, because in the step by step I make you to understand it. This was the additions of an unlike fraction. Now, here we are having some example. Add 2 upon 5, 3 upon 4, 1 upon 2 means what? Yes, the question is add. So, in between these two fractions, we have to put a addition sign. But now you will say how to solve this, because here all the denominators are unequal, not same. Then what we have to do? Yes, you are right. We have to find out first LCM and we have to make the fraction with the same denominator, or we can say to make a fractions like fractions. So, we will solve one by one the examples here which is given here. First one is add 2 upon 5 plus 3 upon 4 plus 1 upon 2. Already all the denominators are having the different number. I told you first we will find out LCM of this. So, we will start with 2. We are having a 2, already we had learned in the previous class. So, you know how to find out the LCM. So, we will write this 5 as it is, 2 2s are 4 and 2 1s are. Now again we will go for 2. Here we will be write 5 as it is, 2 ones are and this ones are. We will write 5 ones are, ones are, ones are. So what is LCM? In short you can say here LCM is equal to, directly you can write here, or if you want you can do in rough part. This is what we are writing is should be written in the notebook, right side of your notebook. That is for our just to find out the LCM. It's not an step of this. So we will write here. So what is the LCM? 5 twos are 10, 10 twos are 20. So here we can say that LCM is equal to 20. Now one by one we have to convert this all the fractions into like fractions. First I will write first fraction 2 upon 5. To make a denominator 20, which number I have to multiply here? Yes, you are right. 5 4s are 20. The same number I have to multiply in the numerator too. So 5 4s are 20 and 4 2s are 8. What I have done? My fraction is 2 upon 5. Now I will go for second fraction that is 3 upon 4. To make the denominator 20, which number I have to multiply? 5s are, 4 5s are, or 5 times 4 is 20. Same number we have to multiply in the numerator. So here the 20 and 5 3s are 15. Now last fraction, that is 1 up by 2, or we can say 1 upon 2. To make the 20 denominator 20, which number we will multiply here? By 10. Same number you have to multiply in the numerator. So here again we will get a denominator as a 20 and 10 ones are 10. Now you can see this, all the denominators are same. So we can say that the fractions are like fractions. Now when the fractions are like fractions, you can do any operation. Now we are having addition, so we will do the operation of addition. Just what are the resultant we got here is 8 upon 20 for the fraction 2 upon 5. 15 upon 20 we got a resultant of a 3 upon 4, and 10 upon 20 we got the resultant of a 1 upon 2. One by one we will write here, that is 8 upon 20 plus 15 upon 20 plus 10 upon 20. Now I think so you can understand, you can do it how to do the addition. If you have a operation as a subtractions, you can do the subtraction. Here all the denominators are having the same number, that is 20, so we can take as a common denominator. So we can write 8 plus 15 plus 10. You know addition of this? I will write 20 first in the denominator. 10 plus 15 is 25. If you don't know, you can write here in this way also. With this all are small rough work, you can do the rough work to the right hand side of your page, and you can do, I had done this both the directly. 10 plus 15 is 25 plus 8. I had done addition of these two first. You can do the addition of these two first. It's not that the sum remain the same. So here 8 plus 5 is 13, 1 carry, it is 33. So we got as an 33 upon 20. So our question was 2 upon 5 plus 3 upon 4 plus 1 upon 2. What we have got after the addition here is 33 upon 20. So is this fractions able to reduce here? If we are having in the both the numerator and the denominator, we have the same even number, we can reduce. But now this fraction is unable to reduce, so we will keep as it is. Here can you see what type of a fraction it is? Yes, you are right, it is an improper fractions. These improper fractions we have to convert into mixed fraction. 20 ones are 20. So here 1 and 3. Now you have to write in the mixed fraction whatever you are having in the denominator should be written the same, what you got in the remainder should be written here and the quotient should be here. So if you want to check, 20 ones are 20 plus 13 is 33 upon 20. So this is nothing but an mixed fraction. So we had converted it improper fractions into mixed fraction. If it is possible to reduce, we have to reduce. If it is we are having improper fractions, then we have to make into mixed fraction. My dear student, you can write your own fractions, do the addition or subtraction of a fractions by making the denominator is equal or a like fraction and solve the examples which are given in the textbook. Thank you.